The Manuscript of Survival, Part 395. February 8, 2014. You have all been put on the fast-forward track by now, dear ones, and as everything continues to speed up, your perception of the reality that surrounds you will also start to change at an ever-increasing speed. You see, the veils have started to dim down now in all aspects, so what you see will continue to magnify in all sorts of ways. Let us explain. It will not come as news to any of you that the world you see around you is not the world you have taken it to be, and now that will become obvious to every last one of you. That is, to everyone that have made the same choice as you, namely to truly open your hearts to the light, and through that, allowing yourself to start to see what has been here all along but that you have turned away from earlier, seemingly forever. For the light will bring much clarity to you all, and when the fog lifts, you will see beauty where there was none, you will see emptiness where before there seemed to be darkness, and you will see forever where there used to be a wall stopping your gaze. For as the fog lifts, it will take away the illusion of separateness, and it will take away the illusion of darkness, and it will take with it the illusion of limitation, and as such, it will be like standing inside a cramped, musty apartment where all of the walls and the roof suddenly falls away, to reveal the bright blue sky up above, and endless green fields on all sides. We know we use simple metaphors for this, and it may sound like we think we are talking to children, but again, what we are trying to make clear to you, is the simplicity that has been hiding behind the ever so complex construction you have been so deeply immersed in. For in your minds, you feel as if you are grappling with layer upon layer of confusion, where one thing seems to stand in the way of another, and where one road will lead you to a dead end, and if you turn around, you will find the same dead end staring you in the face. But all of this is simply an illusion, created to keep mankind forever searching in vain to find a way to endure this imprisonment inside a frail body, and ensconced within a world that seems to be literally crumbling more and more even as we speak. Well, this old world of yours is indeed falling apart, and rightly so, for it is not anything more than a make-believe, a set of props constructed to keep you going in an eternal cycle of slavery under your own beliefs of not being good enough, not being powerful enough, nor being deserving enough to attain your own freedom. These prison walls have been pressing in on you for such a long time, and as we have talked about earlier, even if these self-imposed and indeed superimposed limitations are no longer valid, you will still in your mind seem to feel their presence very much governing your everyday business. And so, you will automatically try to fall back into the same pattern as before. We know we have delved into this subject many times already, but again we need to repeat it, as you need to be reminded of your freedom. For even if you have attained it, you have not yet given it to yourself, and so, you have yet to fully experience it. That is, except for a few brave individuals who have already started to take the first deep inhalations of the pure, clean air that is now available to you all. And we know they can testify to the clarity it brings, both to body, mind and spirit, and as such, we can only implore you all to try to do the same as these pioneers have already shown you. For it takes courage to venture outside the tried and true, for as you all know, once you truly let yourself take in the fact that everything you have taken as facts previously are merely figments of your imagination, you will need to make such a huge adjustment to yourself, you think it will be too much to handle. But that is not the case here, for as we have already told you, this transition from the old to the new is one that will go seamlessly, and it is simply your ideas on how this transition will and must come about that are standing in your way now. For the more you think about it, the harder it will seem to be, and the threshold between you and that freedom you so hanker for will seem to grow higher by the day. But again, this is not about doing anything, this is simply about allowing yourself to take that step, and once you put the thought into being, it will automatically come about by itself. For this is not about scaling the highest mountains or crossing the deepest of rivers, this is simply about letting go of all that you have been, and letting it slip through your fingers like water flowing downstream. It sounds complicated, but that is because words are always complicated. But you still feel the need to see the words that will explain this whole process to you, and so you wait, and you hope you will see the explanation of this whole process that will put your mind at ease. For then, you say to yourself, I will simply follow the detailed instructions, and then, I think I will be able to make it. But you will have to wait forever if you are waiting for that instruction, for it will never be given to you. That is, it will never be given in a form such as this, in a sequence of letters, presented on a page for you to take in through your eyes and process it with your brain. For this, you are already a master of, you need no tuition to do this. All you need to do, is to let go of the idea of needing to learn it thoroughly before you attempt to do it. This is simply a choice of jumping or not, of letting go or holding on, of following your inner wisdom or listening to that overly cautious voice of reason that is trying to persuade you to stay back. For this is not something that will or can be explained, this is simply something that is already here, within yourself, ready to be embraced again after lifetimes of negation. For you already know who you are, and you already know what you are capable of, but still, you feel the need for some outside confirmation. And no, we do not blame you for this, for you are merely following the gut instinct of a human being, that side of you that has been the ruler of you, seemingly forever, and as such, you will sit back and rethink each and every option. For this is how you have been trained, and so, you will hesitate to jump when the option to do so is presented to you. Again, you all have the choice, for it is you and you alone who must make the choice, for it is your will that is the one who has to take the decision. Not ours and not anyone else's either. For you are sovereign beings, but you are also still very much human, and so, that human side will try all it can to hold on to its authority. So again we say, do not hold yourself back any longer, and do not think you have to know what to do before you do it. For you do know everything, but you are still very much under the influence of the old you, the you that has been programmed to sit up and listen and wait for orders and instructions. Because you think you are simply not wise enough to have a go at it by yourself. But this time, that is exactly what you have to do. For this time, you must be willing to simply let go of everything in order to slip through the old net of being human, the net that has held you captive forever. The gaps in this net are large indeed, but still, you seem to find way to get ensnared in it, or you refuse to let your fingers loosen their grip from the thread of hope you have been holding on to. For you hope for an explanation or a piece of information that will make this jump less daunting. But that will not come, for you have already learned everything that needs to be learned. But what you need to do, as we have told you earlier, is to unlearn all of the traits of being human, a dependent and all of the old ideas, and to trust yourself enough to simply let go. We use many, many words to try to give you that last little push, but in fact, the words are merely a superficial way of trying to push you with the energy they contain. For these words in themselves have no value, no words in the world can give you what you already have within. For you have the freedom there, it is there for the taking, and it is not hidden nor hard to get at. All you have to do is to stop trying so hard, the advice we have already given you, but one that needs to be repeated. So stop searching, and stop hiding from the truth, and the truth is simply this, you are already there, but you cannot see it, because you dare not let yourself see it. Freedom is not for everybody, freedom is for those willing to embrace it freely, and if you find yourself lacking, you will not think yourself worthy of it. And then, you will turn your back to you, and you will turn away from that beckoning door and stay inside that little room you already know so well. If that is what you choose, it is a choice we will all honor. For we are not here to chastise you in any way, we are simply here to try to help you to choose the freedom. For not only have you earned it, it is yours for eternity, and it was yours even before you came. For it is what has been given all from the very beginning, but it cannot be forced on anyone, it has to be embraced. So we hope that our words and indeed the energy they carry within can help to chip away some of the resistance you have to fully embrace not only your freedom, but yourself. For that is indeed two sides of the same coin, but this coin is also one that can be seen for the treasure it truly is, or it is a coin that one can choose to simply let slip through the fingers and be forgotten, like a cherished possession lying forlorn in a dark corner somewhere. So take some time to think hard where your coin is, and know that even if you think it is lost forever, it is actually always there, in the very center of your being, waiting for you to retrieve it again. The Constant Companions. Channeled by Asia North. asianorth.wordpress.com